Welcome to Never Forgotten, where Ashley pays tribute to extraordinary lives that continue to live on through memory and meaning. This channel honors beloved figures from film, music, culture, and beyond, reflecting on their impact, their achievements, and the inspiration they shared. Together, we remember their stories and celebrate legacies that time can never erase. Jerry Conway was one of the creative minds who changed superhero storytelling forever. Long before comic book movies became global blockbusters, Conway was helping shape the emotional depth that modern audiences now expect from superhero stories. Born in New York City in 1952 and raised in Brooklyn, he developed a passion for comics at a young age. Instead of simply reading stories, he studied how characters, dialogue, and emotions worked together. That passion helped him break into the comic industry before he was even 20 years old. Conway became widely respected for bringing realism and emotional consequences into superhero comics. His work on Spider-Man introduced more serious storytelling that connected deeply with readers. He also co-created The Punisher, a darker and more complex anti-hero who became a major part of comic book culture. Beyond comics, Conway also worked in television, proving his storytelling talent across different formats. His influence can still be seen today in modern superhero films, series, and comics, inspiring generations of writers and fans around the world. Ernie Anastas spent decades becoming a familiar presence in the lives of New Yorkers, known for his calm voice, thoughtful delivery, and ability to make people feel informed without overwhelming them. He built a career rooted in trust, professionalism, and genuine connection, earning respect not just for his work, but for the way he carried himself both on and off the air. What truly made him stand out, though, was his belief that stories could do more than report events. They could inspire people. In later years, he focused much of his energy on sharing uplifting stories centered around kindness, hope, resilience, and everyday humanity. At a time when negativity often dominates conversations, he consistently reminded audiences that there is still goodness worth paying attention to. Friends, colleagues, and longtime viewers remember him as someone who brought warmth and sincerity into every room he entered. His legacy goes beyond broadcasting. It lives in the countless people who felt encouraged by his words and comforted by his steady presence. He leaves behind a lasting reminder that compassion and positivity still have a powerful place in the world. Dave Mason was a remarkable musician whose work helped shape classic rock for generations of listeners. Born David Thomas Mason on May 10, 1946 in Worcester, England, he discovered his love for music early in life. Inspired by blues, jazz, and rock, he became known for his expressive guitar playing and heartfelt songwriting. In the late 1960s, Mason co-founded Traffic alongside Steve Winwood, Jim Capaldi, and Chris Wood. The band gained recognition for blending rock, folk, and jazz into a unique sound. Mason wrote memorable songs like Hole in My Shoe and Feelin' All Right, which later became a timeless classic covered by many artists. Beyond Traffic, Mason enjoyed a successful solo career with hits like We Just Disagree. He also worked with legendary musicians including Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton. His music continues to inspire fans around the world with its honesty, warmth, and lasting influence. The music world has lost one of its gentlest voices. Dash Crofts passed away at the age of 85, leaving behind a legacy built on warmth, harmony, and timeless songwriting. Best known as one half of the iconic duo Seals and Crofts alongside Jim Seals, Crofts helped create some of the most memorable soft rock songs of the 1970s. Tracks like Summer Breeze, Diamond Girl, and Get Closer weren't just popular hits. They became comforting soundtracks to everyday life for millions of listeners. With his gentle vocals and calming musicianship, Dash Crofts brought a peaceful sincerity to music that stood apart from the louder sounds of the era. Whether through the soft strum of a guitar or the delicate harmony of a chorus, his artistry carried a sense of calm, reflection, and emotional honesty. Though he may be gone, The music he created continues to live on, quietly, beautifully, and forever close to the hearts of those who grew up listening. Alan Osman was remembered not only as a talented musician, but as a person who faced life with remarkable grace and determination. As the eldest member of the Osmonds, he became part of a legacy that brought joy to millions through music, family values, and connection. For decades, Alan lived with multiple sclerosis, adapting to challenges with patience and resilience. Even as life changed, he continued to focus on what mattered most: family, creativity, faith, and supporting others. Those close to him often described his quiet strength and positive outlook as deeply inspiring. Beyond the stage, Alan believed in helping people feel encouraged and valued. Whether through music, conversations, or simple acts of kindness, he reminded others that purpose can continue to grow through every season of life. His story leaves behind a meaningful message. Life is not defined by difficulties, but by the love we share, the courage we show, and the impact we leave on the hearts of others. Clint Eastwood's life and career stretch across more than 7 decades of cinema, evolving from a quiet, uncertain young man into one of Hollywood's most enduring filmmakers and actors. His journey is often told as a story of resilience, of rejection, persistence, and eventual reinvention. From early struggles in television westerns to international fame through iconic roles, and later to acclaimed directing achievements, Eastwood's legacy reflects both artistic discipline and personal complexity. Beyond the screen, his life has included shifting relationships, fatherhood, and a strong devotion to work that never seems to fade. This narrative explores how ambition, independence, and creative control shaped him into a cultural figure whose influence remains deeply woven into modern film history. Early life and shaping years. Clint Eastwood was born in 1930 in San Francisco during a time of economic hardship in the United States. His childhood was marked by frequent moves as his family searched for stable work. This constant change meant he often had to adapt to new schools and environments, which contributed to his quiet and reserved personality. He was not a standout student or athlete, but rather someone who observed more than he spoke. Early jobs in manual labor helped him develop discipline and self-reliance. These years, though difficult, built a foundation of patience and endurance that would later define both his career choices and his approach to life and filmmaking. Military experience and early discipline. In his early adulthood, Eastwood spent time connected to military service during the Korean War era, though he was not deployed in combat. A significant moment during this period involved surviving a plane crash into the Pacific Ocean, after which he swam to safety. Experiences like this strengthened his sense of resilience and calm under pressure. Rather than shaping him into a traditional soldier, the military phase reinforced his independence and quiet observation of the world. These traits later translated into his screen presence: minimal dialogue, controlled expression, and a focus on action over explanation. It was a period that quietly sharpened his character without defining it completely. Early Hollywood struggles. When Eastwood moved to Los Angeles, he entered Hollywood with little experience and fewer connections. Early opportunities came in small roles that rarely showcased his potential. He faced repeated rejection and criticism for being too stiff or understated for traditional acting expectations of the time. Despite this, he continued to take minor television and film parts to support himself. These years were defined by uncertainty, yet they also taught him how the industry functioned behind the scenes. Instead of giving up, he observed directors and production processes closely, unknowingly preparing for his future transition from actor to filmmaker. Breakthrough in television. His major early break came with a television Western series where he played a supporting cowboy role. Though not the lead, the show gave him consistent work and visibility. Over several seasons, he developed on-screen confidence and learned the rhythm of long-form storytelling. While he remained in the background compared to other stars, the experience was essential. It provided stability and allowed him to refine his performance style, quiet, controlled, and understated. This phase also helped him realize that long-term creative control might matter more than fame alone, shaping his later decisions in Hollywood. International recognition and Western reinvention. Eastwood's career changed dramatically when he collaborated with Italian filmmaker Sergio Leone on Western films that redefined the genre. These films presented a new kind of Western hero, silent, morally complex, and emotionally distant. Eastwood's minimalistic acting style became a perfect match for this vision. Initially overlooked in the United States, these films gained massive popularity in Europe before eventually finding success in America. This shift transformed Eastwood from a struggling television actor into an international star. More importantly, it reshaped the Western genre itself, moving it away from idealized heroes toward more realistic and conflicted characters. Rise to American stardom. After his success overseas, Eastwood quickly gained recognition in Hollywood. He became associated with strong, quiet characters who relied on action rather than dialogue. His role as a tough law enforcement figure in a major crime film solidified his image as a new kind of American hero, one who operated outside traditional systems of authority. Audiences were drawn to his controlled intensity and moral ambiguity. At this stage, he was no longer struggling for recognition, but instead shaping popular culture. His image became iconic, influencing how action heroes were portrayed for decades to come. Transition into directing. Eastwood's curiosity about filmmaking led him behind the camera, where he began directing while still acting. His early directing work showed a strong sense of efficiency and storytelling clarity. He preferred simple setups, fast production schedules, and minimal retakes. This approach contrasted with many Hollywood productions of the time. Over the years, he built a reputation as a disciplined and practical director, who trusted instinct over overproduction. His ability to manage both acting and directing gave him rare creative control, allowing him to shape entire films according to his vision. Establishing a production. Identity. Clint Eastwood's move toward independence in filmmaking marked a turning point in his career, giving him creative control at a time when most actors remained dependent on studio systems. By forming his own production company, he was able to select projects that aligned with his artistic instincts rather than commercial demands alone. This autonomy allowed him to work efficiently, often completing films on modest budgets and tight schedules without sacrificing narrative strength. His approach emphasized clarity, restraint, and emotional precision rather than excess or spectacle. Over time, this method became a defining aspect of his identity as a filmmaker. It also enabled him to sustain a remarkably long career, as he was not constrained by shifting industry trends. His production philosophy demonstrated that control over process can be as important as creative talent in building longevity within cinema. Iconic characters and cultural impact. Across decades, Eastwood created and portrayed characters that became deeply embedded in popular culture. These figures were often defined by quiet intensity, moral ambiguity, and a strong sense of personal code rather than verbal expression. Instead of relying on elaborate dialogue, his performances communicated meaning through stillness, expression, and controlled movement. This subtle style distinguished him from more expressive acting traditions and helped redefine screen masculinity. Characters such as lone law enforcers or wandering outsiders resonated with audiences because they embodied independence and emotional restraint. Over time, these roles influenced not only viewers, but also generations of actors and filmmakers who adopted similar minimalist approaches. His cultural impact extends beyond entertainment, shaping how heroism, toughness, and solitude are represented in modern storytelling. The simplicity of his screen presence became a powerful narrative tool in itself. Expansion as a filmmaker. As Eastwood transitioned more fully into directing, his artistic range expanded significantly. He began to explore stories that moved beyond action-driven plots toward more introspective examinations of human experience. Themes such as regret, aging, moral conflict, and emotional consequence became central to his work. His directing style is often characterized by efficiency, avoiding unnecessary takes or elaborate production excess. This disciplined approach not only reduced production costs, but also created a focused working environment that prioritized performance and storytelling. Many of his films from later periods are noted for their emotional restraint and narrative clarity, which contrast with more stylized Hollywood productions. His ability to consistently deliver completed films across decades established him as one of the most dependable figures in the industry. This evolution reflected a shift from performer to storyteller, deepening his artistic legacy. Personal life and complexity. Eastwood's personal life has often been described as layered and private, shaped by the demands of an unusually long and active career. Over the years, he has had multiple relationships and several children, and while he has rarely spoken in detail about these matters publicly, it is widely understood that balancing professional ambition with personal responsibility was not simple. His intense focus on filmmaking frequently required long periods away from home, influencing how his relationships developed and changed over time. Despite these challenges, he has maintained varying degrees of connection with his children, reflecting an ongoing effort to balance personal ties with professional commitments. His life illustrates a broader reality common in demanding creative fields, where achievement often comes with emotional trade-offs. Rather than presenting a simple narrative, his personal history reflects complexity, change, and the difficulty of sustaining equilibrium between career and family life, public image and political presence. Throughout his life, Eastwood has also been associated with independent thinking in public and civic contexts. His brief involvement in local leadership demonstrated an interest in practical governance rather than ideological alignment. Publicly, he has expressed views centered on personal responsibility and individual freedom, often maintaining positions that resist strict categorization within conventional political frameworks. This independence has led to both admiration and disagreement from different audiences, depending on interpretation of his statements and actions. Rather than aligning consistently with one side or ideology, he has generally emphasized autonomy in thought and expression. This stance mirrors his approach to filmmaking, where creative control and personal vision remain central. His public presence, while sometimes debated, reflects a consistent preference for independence over conformity. As a result, his image in public discourse has remained complex, shaped by multiple interpretations rather than a single narrative. Later, career and continued filmmaking. In later decades, Eastwood continued to direct films with a level of consistency uncommon in the industry, particularly for someone of advanced age. His later work often explores themes of aging, reflection, consequence, and moral uncertainty. While some projects achieved significant commercial success, others were more modest in reception, yet all contributed to a sustained creative output. His filmmaking during this period is marked by simplicity in execution and emotional directness in storytelling. Rather than relying on spectacle, he often focused on character-driven narratives that emphasize human vulnerability and internal conflict. His ability to maintain productivity over such a long period highlights both discipline and dedication to craft. Even as industry trends evolved, he remained committed to his personal style, resisting pressure to dramatically alter his approach. This consistency has made him a rare figure in cinema, continuing to create work well beyond the typical span of an active directing career. Critical legacy in cinema. Eastwood's influence on cinema is widely acknowledged across critical and professional circles. His dual career as actor and director allowed him to reshape multiple genres, particularly westerns, crime dramas, and character-focused storytelling. His acting style introduced a form of minimalism that contrasted with more expressive traditions, while his directing emphasized narrative economy and emotional focus. Over time, his work contributed to a shift in how stories could be told on screen, prioritizing subtlety over exaggeration. Critics often highlight his ability to convey emotion through restraint, allowing audiences to interpret meaning through silence and action rather than dialogue alone. His legacy is not limited to awards or commercial success, but extends to his influence on filmmaking technique and narrative structure. Many contemporary directors cite his work as an example of effective simplicity, demonstrating how controlled storytelling can achieve lasting emotional impact. Themes of silence and identity. A defining characteristic of Eastwood's creative work is the recurring use of silence as a narrative device. His characters frequently communicate more through presence and action than through spoken words, creating a distinctive storytelling rhythm. This approach reflects broader themes of identity, emotional restraint, and moral decision-making. Silence in his films often serves as a space for tension, reflection, or unspoken emotion, allowing audiences to engage more actively with interpretation. Rather than explaining meaning directly, his work often invites viewers to derive understanding from behavior and consequence. This stylistic choice has influenced modern cinema, encouraging filmmakers to explore minimal dialogue and stronger visual storytelling. The theme of identity is closely tied to this silence, as characters often confront internal conflicts without explicit verbal expression. This method has become one of his most recognizable artistic signatures. Reflection on success and cost. The narrative of Eastwood's life is often interpreted as a balance between extraordinary achievement and personal trade-offs. His professional accomplishments are significant, spanning decades of influential acting and directing. However, such sustained dedication to work also comes with the inherent cost of reduced personal presence and emotional availability. This tension between ambition and connection is central to understanding his journey. Rather than fitting into a simple framework of success or loss, his life demonstrates how both can coexist. His story reflects the reality that long-term creative pursuit often requires sacrifices that shape personal relationships and daily life. The complexity of this balance makes his experience relatable beyond fame, as it mirrors challenges faced in many demanding professions. Ultimately, his life illustrates how achievement and absence can develop side by side within a single trajectory. Enduring legacy and continuing influence. Even after decades in cinema, Eastwood remains a significant influence on global filmmaking. His body of work continues to be studied and referenced by directors, actors, and scholars who examine both his stylistic choices and narrative themes. His influence extends across generations, shaping how stories about morality, solitude, and resilience are constructed on screen. Importantly, his legacy is not fixed, but continues to evolve as new audiences engage with his films in different cultural contexts. The combination of longevity, consistency, and creative independence has made him a defining figure in modern cinema history. His career demonstrates how sustained vision and disciplined execution can leave a lasting imprint on artistic culture. As his work continues to be revisited and analyzed, his influence remains active rather than historical, reinforcing his position as a major force in shaping cinematic storytelling.